Again, good afternoon, everyone. So, our subject for today is Computer 7. So, I'll be handling your computer also, right? I'll be sharing to you a PowerPoint presentation. Oh, by the way, our lesson for this week would be exploring and maintaining your computer. So, how can we maintain our computer? How can we maximize the usage of our computer? Can you see the shared screen? Grade 7?
Yeah.
Right. Exploring and maintaining your computer. Again, I am your teacher. I'm Jerez. Computer generation. Today's world runs with computers, right? Nearly every aspect of modern life involves computers in some form or fashion. As technology is advancing, the scale of computer also is increasing. Correct, right? Computer users include both corporate companies, meaning to say those companies like handling corporations, corporate companies, and individuals like us. We're using computers also. Computers are efficient and reliable, right? You can rely on computers, especially nowadays, like in this pandemic situation. Correct? Correct? Are you still with me? They ease people's enormous jobs to software and applications specific to their needs of offering convenience. Correct? We also involves a lot of programs like editing programs, Photoshop, and so on. Word, PowerPoint, Excel, those are programs, right? Moreover, computer users now computers allows users to generate correct information quickly, correct? Hold the information so it's available at any time. Computers and technology affect how we live, right? We are now really, into technology, into computers, into phones. Again, your cell phone is a computer also, simply because it holds a lot of information, it holds a lot of data. Again, please tell me if I'm too fast so that I can actually give you an assistance. Are you still with me, grade 7? Hello, grade 7.
Yes.
Okay. Computers and technology affect on how we live, work, and entertain ourselves. From voice-powered personal assistants like Siri, Alexa, and Cortana. Are you familiar with Siri? Grade 7, are you familiar with Siri?
Yeah.
Who is Siri? Who is Siri? Grade 7? AI thing of Apple, correct. It's an artificial intelligence created by Apple. How about Alexa? How about Alexa? Alexa is an AI also, artificial intelligence, created, yes, correct. Correct, Kisha. Created by Amazon. And Cortana. Okay, Cortana was created by Windows. So more underlying and fundamental technologies such as behavioral algorithms, suggestive researches or searches, and autonomously powered self-driving vehicles boasting power predictive capabilities. So again, your vehicles, there are a lot of self-driving vehicles as of the moment outside the country, and it is not yet in our country. It is actually powered by computers. Computers offer a quicker way to gain information, which by providing an internet access. Up to this moment, many internet browsers and applications have been invented. Correct. For instance, Google Chrome. Google Chrome is a browser, right? It's one of the largest web-based application used by everyone in the world for reliable source of information. Correct. Nowadays also we're actually into Google, no? Like if you have lessons that you find it hard and then you just Google it and screen those information. Correct? Computer skills are required to be hired in companies these days. Yes, imagine if two candidates are interviewed. One of them knows nothing about computers while the other does. Of course, the employer will definitely hire the latter. Furthermore, with the computer skills, one can build his own company and expand his business. Correct. He could perhaps work online and export his goods or service. Like nowadays, in this pandemic situation, there are a lot of online sellers. Again, they're using computers. Not only have computers become more integrated in our lives, they are increasingly becoming more essential in any aspects of life. As computers become more essential, the skill to operate them also become more essential. Yes, correct. They are no longer just an advantage, but rather a requirement in today's computer-oriented society, just like what we are doing now. We are having online class and we need computers. Correct? Please turn on your camera so that I can see you. Proof of the ever increasing integration in our lives becomes the fact that almost anything can be done with the use of computers. Correct. You can now order food, food panda, grab food, even groceries to your computer. You can now watch almost anything in your computer, right? You can now work from home, you can play games, Mobile Legend, to procrastinate at work through the help of computers. You can even conduct interviews, just like what we're doing, your Zoom meetings, through your computer. There are also many things that a computer capable of learning. Of that, learning the skills to fuel the rich potentials of computer is a priority. Correct. Okay, let's move now to the components on how to maintain your computers. Let's have the taskbar. Are you familiar with the taskbar? Grade 7. Are you familiar with the taskbar? Oops, you don't know the taskbar? By the way, again, grade 7, I want you to cooperate. I want you also to ask questions in order for me to gauge if you really learned the lesson. Because this is really long and after this, we will have a series of activities and series of quiz. Am I making that clear? I want you to ask questions. Okay. The taskbar is the bar found on the bottom of the desktop. Okay? If you're going to look at your computer, it is in the lower part. It contains the start button, view task, view task buttons, the icons of minimized programs that are pinned to the taskbar, and the system tray. Can you see now the shared screen? Can you see the taskbar? I place it in the upper part. Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have taskbar in your PCs? In your computers? Okay. Taskbar is always visible by default. Yes. But you can hide it. Right click on the unused space in the taskbar and it will produce a menu that can alter the view of your desktop, show and hide toolbars, etc. The lock the task the lock the taskbar option, if unchecked, would slide the taskbar down the bottom of the screen. Auto hide option is checked in the properties. Actually, you can move your taskbar. No? Just right click on the taskbar and then unlock. Okay? Right click on the taskbar and then unlock. And then you can now drag your taskbar wherever you want it to put. A hidden taskbar can be viewed again by putting the mouse cursor in the bottom most part of the screen. Correct. So this is if this is your desktop view, your taskbar is in the lower part. Again, can you see the lock the taskbar button? Grade 7. Can you see the lock the taskbar? If you uncheck that one, you can actually drag your taskbar anywhere on the sides or even the upper part. Okay. Using the search feature. Again, Windows 10, we're not focusing on Windows 10, and Windows 10 has a search feature. Windows indexes all files by default. This means that users can search item, you can search your files in the entire operating system by typing in the search bar feature found in the taskbar. The search bar button is found beside the start button. So your task bar is this, right, in the bottom. And then right in the window key, you can see the search button. Okay. So you can search anything like your files in the entire operating system. Question so far, grade 7? Question so far? When the search window shows up, the user can start typing keywords of the file or program he or she is looking for. There is no need to type the full name of the file or program. Automatically, it will detect, right? Simply start typing the keywords and the Windows automatically search. The search is limited to finding words in the file name of the program or the file. Found items are categorized based on their types. If it is a Word document, or it is a music or MP3, or if it is in video. System tray. Okay. Are you familiar with your system tray? Grade 7? Are you familiar with your system tray? Your system tray is found on the right side of the taskbar that contains smaller icons, which corresponds to the system's action. More icons can be displayed by clicking the arrow on the left of the other system tray icons. So if your taskbar is in the lower part of your screen of your desktop, your system tray is in the right side. If you're looking at your desktop, it is in the right side. The rightmost part of the system tray always contains the date and the time. Yes, correct. This area of the system tray can be clicked to show monthly calendar and the date, and the setting of the link where the date and setting can be changed. So in that area, you can change the date and the time. Okay. Can you see the illustration? In this area, you can change the date and the time of your PC or your laptop. Other items in the system tray include the speaker settings, where the speaker volume can be controlled. Okay. Actually, you can control the volume there. The battery information power saving options show the percentage left in the battery in its corresponding operation time. The brightness setting can be changed by clicking on the button, the icon of the light icon, and the link where the power and sleep settings can be opened. Okay. The battery information can be found if you are using laptop. But if you're using desktop, you cannot see the battery there because your desktop don't have battery, correct? But the power and sleep settings can be found there. The system tray also houses the button for Action Center. The Action Center contains more tiles where other system options can be accessed. Okay. Again, the Action Center is really important because there are a lot of options that can be accessed through the Action Center. Included in the pane are Bluetooth connection settings, tablet mode, because this is Windows 10. So Windows 10, you can convert your Windows 10 into tablet mode. Wi-Fi settings, projector mode, meaning to say that if you're using extended monitor or you want to connect your computer to somewhere else, like a projector or another monitor, you can use the projector mode and etc. The Action Center also displays some notifications from the system. Okay, this is now your Action Center. As you can see, there are a lot of settings there, like the tablet mode, the night mode, airplane mode, if in case you don't want to, you don't want to connect to Wi-Fi and even want to disable your LAN, so you can use the airplane mode, projector mode, or projector, or project with an external display. Yes, the settings there. Using File Explorer. The File Explorer can be found in the Start menu. Okay, it is used to navigate the different files and folder in the operating system. Yes, files and folder can be opened by double-clicking the file or the folder icon. Are you familiar with this? A double click is a rapid two click the left button, the mouse, and designated program would be open the file or will open the file. The file folder can be also opened by right clicking the icon and choosing open. So again, again, the file explorer, where can you find your file explorer? If you're going to look at your desktop, if this is your desktop, the file explorer is in the taskbar. You look at the folder, it looks like a folder. This is the file explorer. So once you click, okay, if you're going to look at your folder or your desktop, okay, wait. You're going to look at your folder or your desktop, you can actually see a file explorer. Okay, if this is your desktop, the file explorer is in the lower part. This one. This is the file explorer. Okay. When you click this one, you can actually open a window for your files so that you can navigate your files. Question so far? Renaming a file or folder. File or folder can be renamed to another file name or folder name. I know that you know this already, and this is just a review for you. This can be done by right clicking the file and choosing rename options. The file or folder name can be editable, and the user can now change the name. Correct. Again, this will illustrate, or this is an illustration on how to change file name, or folder name. Right click, and then change name or rename. A file cannot be renamed when it's open. Put it in mind that if you're using a PowerPoint presentation and want to rename the PowerPoint presentation, make sure that you are not opening the PowerPoint presentation so that you can rename it. Or if you want to rename a, a folder, be sure that it is not opening. You didn't open it, or else you cannot actually rename it. Am I making that clear? Grade 7?
Yes.
All right, good. Deleting files and folders. Okay. Files and folders can be deleted to free up some space. We usually do this one, right? We remove clutter or simply erase the file since it is not being used or you're done using it. Files or folder can be deleted by right-click on its icon, then choosing delete from the drop-down menu. A faster way to delete the file or folder is by simply clicking on its icon or highlighting the icon and then pressing delete key on the keyboard. Okay, you have delete key in your keyboard. Deleted files goes to the operating system's recycle bin. It's not directly deleted, partially. It is considered as partially deleted. The recycle bin is a repository for files that are not yet permanently deleted, so you can recover it if in case. Files that enter the recycle bin still consume hard drives space until they permanently deleted. Correct. To permanently delete a file, access the file via recycle bin, then delete the file from there again. So if you want to delete the file permanently, then you need to access it in the recycle bin and delete. Note that when a folder is deleted, all files saved in it are also deleted, of course. Or another way to permanently delete the file or permanently delete the file is to hold shift key while pressing the delete button. Okay? Shift delete. It will permanently delete the file. It will not go to your recycle bin. It does not go to recycle bin anymore because it is permanently deleted. Restoring deleted files or folder. A file is not yet permanently deleted can be restored. Yes, of course. If the file was deleted by accident, the user can simply trigger the keyboard combination Control Z. Or what is Control Z? Undo. Okay? Let's undo. To undo the action. This only works if the file is just deleted, so action can be reversed with the undo command. Are you still with me, grade 7?
Yes.
How about others?
Yeah.
Okay. However, if the file has been deleted for quite some time and has already been in the recycle bin, the only way to restore it back is by going to the recycle bin, right-click on the file or folder that needs to be restored, then click Restore. So you can actually recover those deleted files and folder. So here comes the illustration. Again, I deleted the new folder. So I click it in the right click and restore. So you can actually recover your deleted files. Copying or moving files or folders. To copy a file or folder, right-click on its icon and select copy. Then go to the new folder location and right-click away in the blank space or area of the folder, then select paste. The paste option only show up when a copy or cut command was previously initiated. But if you didn't copy it yet, there is no paste shortcut or there is no paste command. Therefore, you need to copy it first in order to be pasted. Programs. Do you know how to install programs? Grade 7? Do you know how to install programs? Okay, programs are applications that are installed in the computer. They can do simple to complex tasks based on what they are programmed to or programmed to do. Like for instance, Microsoft Office. So Microsoft Office composed of Microsoft Word, PowerPoint, Excel, what else? OneNote, what else? Database. So these are programs. Okay? But Microsoft Office is a licensed program. So we need to categorize it. There are two categories for programs. They can either be freeware, meaning to say it's downloadable from the internet without need of paying them, okay, to be used, or license. which is bought from a provider with payment. So you cannot actually install it without a license. It will not run. So again, freeware, which is you can just access it in the internet, download and use, install and use. While license, it needs a license in order to perform its task. Meaning to say, you need to buy it somewhere in the computer shops. Installing a new program. When an executable file or XC file, XEX file from any media is launched, the operating system launches its install wizard. Have you tried it? Which takes care on how the program is installed. Usually, the user has to click on the several pages of the wizard. Generally, installations can either be full installation, wherein the complete software is installed, or customized installation, where allows the user to select options of the program to be installed. Are you still with me? Are we are we in the same plane?
Yes.
Grade 7? Are we too fast or are we too fast? Did you understand the lesson?
No, it's fine. Yeah.
In what sense? In what area? Where particularly? In what area? Asa dapitan ng libog? Okay. You want me to speak in vernacular? What do you want? Grade 7? In what part of the lesson? In what part of the lesson? Rhea?
What?
In what part of the lesson?
I'm not confused.
Come again?
I'm not confused.
You're confused with what?
I said I'm not.
No, you're not confused. Okay. Given. How about others? Be sure that you understand the lesson because you'll have a quiz after the discussions and series of activities. Okay, let's continue. The later the latter option usually for advanced users. Okay, if you're advanced users, you can partially or you can in y- you may have the customized installation because you know already what are the things to install or what are the programs to be installed. The program installed in the computer can be determined by typing the control panel on the search bar and choosing programs and features. So all the programs will be installed in your computer can be seen in your programs and features under control panel. Okay. If you're going to look at your control panel, go to programs and features and you can see all the programs being installed or has been installed and you can directly uninstall it if in case. This is also where the user can uninstall programs, correct? Just choose the program to uninstall and click uninstall link and click uninstall link that will appear. Note that uninstalling the program does not delete the files it created. It is just uninstalling the program. You are just removing the program, but the files will still remain in the folders that were the folders that uh, the files has been saved. Okay. Switching between open programs and or Windows. Okay. Windows can have several programs running at the same time. Yes, correct. This is called multitasking. So now you can actually multitask with your computers. This is done. The users can do several tasks at a time. With mouse, users can switch between open programs by clicking the icons on the taskbar. Okay, that's the basic. It is also possible to switch programs using keyboard by pressing Alt plus tab, okay, alt tab keys at the same time that we launches the switch program feature that shows screenshot of the open program. So in Windows 10, you can actually see a screenshot program or the screenshot of the open program. Okay, if you're going to use the alt tab key. We have 3 minutes more. The taskbar has task view also button. Now, if you're going to look at your illustration there, that can also show screenshot of all the active programs. The task view button can be found here. Now, this is the task view button. Okay, if you're going to click the task view button, all the programs that are actually running or active will appear in tiles. Okay, when the task view button is clicked, the active programs will fill the screen. Unlike that alt tab, there's no need to hold alt or any key to keep the view. There are more freedom to examine the screenshots of the program. Each screenshot also has an exit button to help the users cleaning up the open programs. So you can actually close the application with the task view. There you go. This is your task view. I just click the task view and all of the active programs and active windows are actually open like a tiles or like tiles that you can actually close or you can actually use. Control panel. Okay, the control panel is a tool in the Windows operating system because we're focusing only on Windows that consolidates all the programs or all the other system tools and wizards in the system. The system tools are utilities that control settings of a certain feature of the operating system. Wizards are multi-page system tools or features that aid the user in accomplishing certain tasks in the program. Like for example, you're installing the program, then the wizard will appear. Okay. Tasks that usually require several user inputs. Correct. The control panel can be accessed by typing its name, the search bar from the taskbar. It shows categorized options like system and security, network and internet, hardware and sound, programs, user accounts, appearance and personalization, clock language and region, and ease and access. Users can simply click on the link for the tool in order to launch the tool or wizard. So if you're going to look at can you clearly see the control panel? Going to look at the control panel, you can see all the tools. All you have to do is to navigate them and check on its settings. So you can set the settings for your computers are already here in the control panel. The start menu also has setting button and which launches more setting options. This window is similar to control panel, but it uses tiles instead of links to display the list of settings. Like for example, this one. Okay, it looks like a control panel. It has a lot of settings, but instead of links, you're given windows to access it. Okay, but still the same. You can actually change settings on this window setting. Display options. Okay, if you're trying to change your display options or display, you can change it via display options. Options regarding the computer screen can be accessed by either control panel, appearance, personalization, display, or via settings, system, or display. The control panel display shows